Hello and welcome to the Victorious Living Solutions podcast. I'm your host, Nikeya Young, and I am so excited to introduce you all to a very special guest that we have at the podcast today, Miss Patrice Sterling, a phenomenal author and mompreneur that I had the pleasure of working with on a special project called The Mom's Truth. We'll be talking about that a little bit later as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrice Sterling.
Thank you so much, Nikeya. I'm just so delighted to be here with you today. I appreciate your time and just bringing me into your space. This is wonderful. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you for joining us. Now, let's get into this. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Patrice Sterling for my listening audience? Tell us about business, your family, all that.
Okay, so my name is Patrice Sterling. I am an award-winning best-selling author and publisher. I am a sickle cell disease champion and a legislative advocate. I wear many hats, as you can tell. And in my advocacy, I assist families who have children with chronic diseases. And so I assist them in those conversations with their school teams, with their care teams, help them to understand their rights, and then really help them understand how to create a partnership with their providers. And then in my publisher hat, as you know, we just finished, or we're just wrapping up The Mom's Truth, which will be released next month, September 9th. The Mom's Truth. I'm so excited about this. And this was just a beautiful, this is a beautiful collection of moms that came together, 16 mothers who came together to talk about their motherhood journey, either becoming a mother, how their lives changed once they became a mother, or talking about those relationships with those adult children. And as we know, every stage impacts us. And so I am looking forward to the release of The Mom's Truth.
Yes. So I must tell you all, we pre-tape these interviews. So by the time you all see this, the book will be ready for you all to have in your hands, in your warm little hands. So where will they be able to purchase the book? Go ahead and let them know that.
Sure. So the book will be available on Amazon.com.
Okay.
It will also be available on BarnesandNoble.com. And again, that release is September 9th.
All right. Sounds good. So you all heard that. If you see this on or after September 9th, get thee to Amazon.com and get your book.
Yes.
Awesome.
The Mom's Truth.
So what made you decide to put together this project? What inspired you to? It's an amazing project. I cannot believe that I'm blessed to be a part of such an amazing project with so many awesome mompreneurs.
Oh my gosh. You're right. It is amazing. Thank you. Honestly, it was a spiritual connection. I heard it. I heard it in the spirit that, I should be leading this work. And so I began a campaign calling for authors. And this is how it came out. Folks started responding, and I talked about what would be required and why I wanted to do the book. I really want this book to be a support tool for moms. So many times mothers are not supported in a way that that is fulfilling, or that really is supportive. It's kind of done nonchalantly, right? Or on Mother's Day. And I want moms to understand that no matter where you are in your parenting journey, in your mommying journey, you're doing well, and keep your head up. I want them to understand that they are not alone, that the things that they're going through, no matter what it is, you're not the only one.
Mhm.
And maybe they can open this book and see themselves.
Mhm.
Maybe they open their book, they read a chapter and say, hey, this is my situation. This looks like me. And, gain some wisdom or perhaps a tip from that particular mom's story. So that's why this book has been written. It's to support, it's to help, it's to encourage moms everywhere.
Awesome. You all will not regret getting this book. Everything that she said is true. I had the opportunity to hear from some of the other co-authors in our Instagram live interviews and hear what they're talking about. And I don't want to spoil it for y'all, but child, pretty much any challenge that you can think of that you may have faced as a mother is being talked about in this book. So you definitely want to grab a copy and encourage your friends and family to do the same. So speaking of challenges, I thought it would definitely be appropriate for us to talk about, what do you feel has been one of the biggest challenges that you have faced in your journey as a mother and mompreneur? And then how did you navigate your way through it?
Mm-hmm. So first, as a mom, I think probably I have my oldest child, and then I have a set of two children that were between the oldest and the middle, 10 years apart.
Okay.
So first of all, that created a challenge.
Yeah,
So,
I can imagine.
because I started over, right? I'd have this child for 10 years and then started over and had the 2 years apart. And so really kind of relearning how to parent, or not even that, evolving in my parenting. I tell my first daughter, unfortunately, I said, oh, I practiced on you. And so we laugh about it. But, I think the challenging part really with her was I was, for the most part, a single parent. And so that alone comes with a lot of challenges, and you just need help. You just need another body there to help. And so that was interesting. And then when I had my second child after I was married, and my first daughter was 10 years, then became a different set of challenges, like remembering how much energy it takes to take care of a child. Because after so long, you kind of forget when you have a newborn. It's just very different than having an older child, right? Because by then they're self-sufficient. So really just that starting over. And then when I had my third child, he actually has a chronic disease. And so that became challenging in all of our lives, learning how to navigate that, learning how to work with our care systems, learning how to work with his school systems and school teams, learning how to prepare my other children for changes in plans that we've made, those types of things, because it's a day-to-day thing. And so those have been some of the challenges for me in terms of being a mompreneur. Now, I think the biggest challenge for mompreneurs is probably time. Really having enough time in the day to really still be able to parent, and to do it where you are in the moment, right? You're really with them. You're not rushing them through something. You're not pushing them off to go do something else. And so really focusing on organizing your time so that you can really meet the needs of your children, meet the needs of your spouse, meet the needs of your business, and so I think it's time.
You know what? That is so, I agree with you. And it's hilarious because you absolutely must organize your time. But child, I'll be like, I need to find the time to organize my time. Babe, can you take these kids so I can go sit down at a coffee shop somewhere and organize my time? Like trying to find the time to organize your time.
Yes. Oh, that's hilarious.
Challenge. As nuts as that sounds, but yeah, you have to. And if you don't plan your day, I know for me, whatever I don't get done before my children open their eyes, it has to wait until the next day or until they go down for nap. Like right now, you all, we're doing this interview uninterrupted because all of my kids are down for their nap. I set on my Calendly when I do my podcast interviews, I pick times they're down for their nap or 8 p.m. and everyone's like, 8 p.m. is kind of late. Yeah, but that's when they sleep. And sometimes they're not even asleep then. I'm sitting here recording a podcast and I hear it sounds like furniture rumbling. I'm like, what are they doing? What are you all doing upstairs? So if
the joys of parenthood.
Yes, the joys of parenting. Like you just gotta get it in where you fit it in.
Exactly. And when you can't finish those things for work or for your business, sometimes you do have to sit them down and come back. And at some unorthodox hours, but you get it in where you can fit it in. So there it is.
Let's talk about we did talk about the challenges. Let's talk about mom guilt.
Ooh.
When you hear mom guilt,
what
comes to mind? Because we've all faced this. It looks different for every mom though.
Yeah.
So what is your experience or has been your experience with mom guilt and how do you process that?
Yeah. Wow. The older I get, and of course, all of my children are adults now. The youngest is 21.
Okay.
So it's a little different now, but when they were younger, I think the guilt came in again around time.
Yeah.
If I'm really big on needing some playtime, right? Needing some adult time.
Yes.
And so when I would put something to the side with my children to do that, sometimes I felt guilty about it. And to be honest, not always, because you need that so that you can come back refreshed and be, and be good for them. And I will say this, I never promise something. I never say, yes, we're going to do this or that, and then not follow through. That is not what I mean. And I don't want it to sound that way because that's a pet peeve of mine. I just think you don't tell children that you're going to do something and then you don't do it. But what I mean is when I have to put it in my own head and in my own calendar, hey, we're going to do this on this day. And then I don't, I'm like tearing myself apart. So yeah, that's probably the biggest mom guilt for me.
Yeah. I feel like having the right people around you helps to combat mom guilt because, and you tell me what you think about this. I think that as we're joining different mom groups on Facebook, or we have maybe different co-op groups or different, there's just different mom communities around. I will say all mom communities are not created equally.
Right.
And if you find yourself a part of a community that is feeding your mom guilt instead of supporting you and helping you get through it, rotate yourself out of that group. Because I feel like as moms, we beat ourselves over the head enough. Like we can be our hardest critic, and we need people around us to encourage us and give us grace, not to be trying to point out every little flaw and, and my son can do this. And what about yours? And, just all that weird, toxic mom energy. Have you ever experienced that online or off?
Offline, because when my children were younger, I didn't have a lot of online experience. So definitely offline, that whole comparing thing.
Yes.
That
Why do moms do that?
that will take you under. So you have to really stay away from that. And I have a grandson now, and my with my oldest daughter. And so I tell her that, and now I tell her, you have it online. So don't let that stuff get in your head. Like you said, rotate yourself out of that group, or whatever you need to do. But that whole comparing thing is something else, because every child is different. Everybody's child goes at a different pace. Of course, you don't want to ignore things that, or maybe huge milestone misses. But outside of that, your child is just an individual. So you have to, like you say, allow that grace, allow yourself that grace to understand and know that your child is just who they are. And don't go down that rabbit hole. It's and that's exactly what it is. A rabbit hole, where you find yourself really just comparing every single thing. So don't do it.
And I think I find that the comparisons tend to happen, and I could be wrong because my children are all under the age of 6. Pray for me. I've got 3 darlings. I've got a 6-year-old son and 2 2-year-olds.
Oh, wow.
I had twins during the pandemic.
Wow.
I'm almost 42 years old with 2 2-year-olds. Just
my goodness.
Nuts. But I feel like it seems to me that it happens with the smaller children more than does this ease up at all when they get older? Or is it just as bad, the mom comparisons and all of that, when they're preteens and teenagers and such?
I think it gets better. Okay. I do. I think it eases up. And and either thinking about it, either it eases up, or, it could just be my individual maturity. And so, we mature, hopefully, not only chronologically, but we mature emotionally, right? And so you can set boundaries. You begin to set boundaries. And so then people understand what they should and shouldn't be saying to you, or exposing you to, right? And so I think that that's really helpful. But just overall, I think it does ease up a bit.
Yeah. Good. Good to know. I'm going to shift gears for a second because we have to wrap up soon, but I don't want to get off without you mentioned your publishing company. I want to hear some more about that. So there may be some moms out there who have a story that they want to tell, a book they like, I really need to write this book, but they're intimidated by the whole process of what all goes into publishing a book. And Miss Patrice can help you all. So tell us about that.
Absolutely. And thank you for that. My company is called 22 Publishing, and we help you go from book idea to published book. And we can work with anyone who wants to become an author, a published author, from beginning to end. We can walk you through. We have packages that I'm sure will fit anyone who's coming into this. We have, varying packages, right? And so don't feel like it's something that maybe you can't handle. It is. And then also it's, I won't say the work, but what you put into it. Often people say, well, I don't have the time, or I don't really know. I know I want to write a book, but I don't know what to write about. And so these are the kinds of things that, we'll talk through, will help you get started, help you get organized, pulling those ideas out of you because they're in you, right? They live there in you. And no one can tell your story like you, no one. So you shouldn't give someone else the opportunity to do so. Tell your story, write your own narrative, get in front of it, right? That's how you do it. get in front of it. And so we're here for you, 22 Publishing. Would absolutely love to hear from your listeners if they want to begin. If just with the conversation, you can reach out to me at info@patricesterling.com. info@patricesterling.com, and then we can start. I'll get you over a scheduler, and we'll make that conversation happen, and we'll bring your book to life. Thank you.
Yay! I love it. I love it. Let me tell you what, I have some books in my spirit, honey.
Yes.
So I will be contacting you.
Yes. Amen. Yes. Yes.
We will definitely work together in the future. And anybody
Awesome.
else, you ought to please reach out to best-selling author. Hello, that is not easy to do. So if you're going to publish a book, you may as well go ahead and publish one with a best-selling author.
Yes. We understand. We understand the plight. We do. We get it. So we walk you through it. I have some streamlined systems that can help you that are already in place. So just give me a call.
Awesome. And to wrap it up, let's see if you have any final thoughts you want to leave with. Say someone's listening to this interview, a mom. What encouragement would you like to give that mom?
Wow.
Just any word of encouragement.
First I would say you're doing great. Whatever your level is, you're doing great. And if you need help, reach out for help. Don't be afraid to. You are not the first. You will not be the last. And then I want to lastly just encourage folks who may want to write. I want to go back to that.
Yeah.
When you write your truth, you write your legacy. Thank you so much.
When you write your truth, you write your legacy. Creating a book, album, or whatever your creativity is, and putting it out there is so powerful. You're creating something that's going to be here long after you're gone, that your children and your children's children's children can read. So go for it. Thank you so much, Patrice.
Thank
you. We are so happy that you joined us. And you all, thank you for tuning into the Victorious Living Solutions podcast. Be sure to reach out to Patrice at info@patricesterling.com if you're interested in writing a book. And where can they find you on social media?
I am on Facebook, Patrice Sterling. I am on IG at Sterling Patrice. And then, Twitter, LinkedIn, Patrice Sterling, Clubhouse, Patrice Sterling.
Sounds good. Well, you guys have all her connection info. She's fabulous. Her page is very inspirational. Reach out and connect with her, and we'll see you all next time on Victorious Living Solutions.
Thank you so much.
Bye.